TikTok, a new podcast app is coming, the latest from our daily newsletter at podnews.net. Social media app TikTok is preparing to launch a podcast app. Podcast hosting company Audio Means has told Podnews that it spotted a new bot scraping their feeds from October the 11th, and they've tracked it back to TikTok. TikTok has over 1 billion monthly users, 138 million of those in the US, and they've recently registered a trademark for TikTok music, including the provision for podcast content. And the company's already talking to record companies. TikTok's parent company also owns Resso, a music streaming service in Brazil, India and Indonesia, which already carries podcasts from hosts like Libsyn. A live show for UK politics podcast The Rest is Politics apparently sold out in 7 minutes, says one of the podcast's hosts. SADA, a podcast forum in the UAE, returned earlier this month. We've some quotes from the event in our show notes and our newsletter at podnews.net. Veritonic has been approved as an attribution partner by Audioboom. Advertisers on more than 8,000 shows on Audioboom can now use Veritonic to optimize and increase their ROI. And still with attribution, Podscribe has launched what they call independent third-party attribution for advertising. The company already offers verification and reporting. Why are they highlighting independent and third-party? Well, both attribution companies Chartable and Podsites are owned by Spotify. Advertising in fiction podcasts delivers 10 times more conversions than not-fiction podcasts, according to a data point in Lauren Purcell's Podcast Marketing Magic newsletter. Social audio network Liju has added short audio clips to its platform. Platformer has reported on an abortion ad that was rejected by Spotify, then allowed after all. And in the Earbuds Podcast Collective this week, 5 podcast episodes from Climate Podcasts That'll Change You. It's a Monday, so time for some tech stuff and more on those new TikTok RSS scrapers that Audio Means were talking about. The servers are in Singapore. They've a range of IP addresses leading back to TikTok's AS number, which, if you're collecting AS numbers, is 138699. Of course it is. The user agent being used is the default user agent for a library used in the Go development language, which TikTok developers use. And Podnews' daily podcast is also seeing traffic from those IP ranges. Documentation for the new podcast namespace is being suggested to be updated with proper MIME types, correcting the MIME types given for transcripts and for audio. If you're using audio/MP3 as a MIME type, then you're wrong. The Hive blockchain, which is used in Podping to send instant notifications of new shows and live streams, underwent a hard fork recently, but as Brian from London posted in a very technical post, nothing broke. Anyway, you can watch episodes being announced live on podping.watch. And the new podcast namespace has had its license made clearer. It's CC0, by the way, which essentially means it's open for anyone. And in podcast news, in the 20-minute VC, you'll find an interview with Spotify's Chief Research and Development Officer Gustav Söderström, talking about why building a product is nothing to do with art, something that Johnny Ive may disagree with. Fit and Full of It is brand new today from Podshape, hosted by 2 fitness coaches and best friends navigating their way through life. Unbossed with Nina Turner is new from TYT Network today. Progressive firebrand and hell-raising humanitarian Nina Turner, they say, unites real everyday Americans to take on the corrupt forces that seek to keep the power from the people. Right on, sister. Off Air with Jane and Fee is the replacement to the BBC's Fortunately, as Jane Garvey and Fee Glover move to commercial rival Times Radio. It's a new daily podcast recorded as they come off air from their radio show. Wonder is Suspect returns for a new season. Suspect, vanished in the snow, looks at a disappearance in the Rocky Mountains. It's hosted by former CNN reporter Ashley Fantz, and it's an Amazon Music exclusive this time. And enjoying nature and escaping to green spaces are an essential part of our modern lives, and now more than ever we understand the need to preserve and protect those spaces. But what if our love of the land is accidentally doing more harm than good? Produced by the Podglomerate, Trail Wait returns for a new season today. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe, we're at podnews.net.